The key to success in ARCA depends on one thing: versatility. You have to be able to stand on the gas and tuck into the draft at 200 miles an hour at legendary speedways like Daytona and Talladega. And you have to be able to finesse the brakes and run the quarter and half-mile bull rings. Plus, you need to be able to back it in sideways in the dirt at places like Springfield and Du Quoin. Today, a new challenge: left and right turns as ARCA descends on historic Watkins Glen. A road course for the first time in years, and a new challenge for many of the ARCA drivers.
Go fast, turn right instead of left.
A lot of passing, a lot of braking, and you never know what's going to happen. Pure excitement, no doubt about it.
You know, it's just a new challenge for all of us.
Gas, brake, shift, left, right, gas, brake, shift, left, right.
Watkins Glen is the scariest thing I've been on so far. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's a lot of excitement today, I'm sure.
We're at Watkins Glen International in upstate New York, the Finger Lakes region. Today, the BetOnUSA.com 150 here on Speed Vision, part of the ARCA RE series. Great to have you along. Hello again, everyone. I'm Rick Benjamin. Two-time ARCA champion Bill Venturini is alongside. Don Radabaugh on pit road for us today on a gorgeous day for stock car racing, and especially road racing at this historic layout. Now, this is the 12th event of the 2001 ARCA RE Series season. Here's how the points stack up. Frank Kimmel has been the early year dominator. He leads Tim Steele by 105 points, and Tim Steele didn't make the haul to Watkins Glen this weekend. So Kimmel has a great opportunity to add to his lead. But a driver who's got a lot of experience here is on the pole this weekend, standing by now with Don Radabaugh.
Thanks, Rick. If experience is the best teacher, then Montoursville, Pennsylvania driver Blaze Alexander may be at the head of the class. He's not only got well over 100 starts in the ARCA RE Series, he's a two-time winner here. In addition, he's also a NASCAR Busch Series veteran and NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series veteran. And most importantly of all, he's got road racing experience, unlike many of the drivers in the field here today. And oh yeah, did we mention he's on the pole here at the Glen. How about it, Blaze? You seem like you're the guy to beat. How do you see it?
Well, I hope I'm the guy to beat today. I just want to stay on the track, don't make any mistakes, and hopefully, you know, we'll have some good pit stops. We got the guys from the Dr. Pepper team helping us out on that. Dave and Brian, all the guys on my team, they've been working hard. You know, they deserve a win here. We got the pole. I'm happy about that, so I'm going to try and put it together today. Hopefully nothing goes wrong. I think we got a real good shot at it.
Sounds like he's got all the right pieces and parts. That's Blaze Alexander. He rolls off from the pole here at the Glen.
And not a bad road racer at all, as we've seen him run several times from Montoursville, Pennsylvania. Let's take a look at the racetrack that they'll run on here at Watkins Glen. The cars are on pit road. That hard right turn one is a challenge.
Yeah, you know, I'm not used to these right-hand turns. You got to, if I get confused here, Rick, keep reminding me. Yeah, you get to turn 2, you make another right. You go into turn 3, you make a kind of a sweeping left, kind of smooth turn back and then back to the right again.
And once you clear the S's, up the long backstretch here, which takes you to the inner loop, which was added about 10 years ago.
Yeah, that was to kind of slow you down, because this back straight would have been way too fast. Then you make that hard right out of turn 9, and you run down another kind of a, I don't know if it's a short shoot or long shoot. I really haven't decided yet. All I know is you sure are shifting. And then you come in, you make a hard left on turn 10.
And that dumps you to turn 11, the final right-hand turn back to the start-finish line to Winston Cup Bridge, and the flag stand is right there. That's also the head, of course, of pit road. So you get a look at Watkins Glen, about 2.5 miles around the short course here. Our coverage of the ARCA RE Series is being brought to you by RE/MAX. In the race to sell homes, our track record is second to none. RE/MAX, outstanding agents, outstanding results. And by Cornwell Quality Tools. Professional mechanics worldwide choose Cornwell, the official tools of ARCA. And by Suzuki ATVs, makers of the Quadmaster 500 4x4. It has the performance to keep you rolling. Welcome back to the BetOnUSA.com 150 from Watkins Glen International in Watkins Glen, New York. Field starting to roll behind the safety cars here at the Glen. Let's take a look at your starting lineup. Blaze Alexander on the pole in the LJ Racing 91 car, 118.8 miles an hour. Lyndon Amick alongside. Second row, Damon Lusk in the 15 and Jason Jarrett in the 67.
Inside row 3, road racing veteran John Finger. Next to him, C.T. Hellman. Row 4, Brian Zollner. And next to him, Bobby Cahara, driving the number 16 car this week.
Fifth row, point leader Frank Kimmel in the Advanced Auto Parts Chevrolet. And Robert Burrows in his 53 car. Sixth row, Jeff Spraker from upstate New York. He's a Busch Series veteran. And Dale Kreider, who's a really good road racer from St. Petersburg.
Inside row 7, Art Cross driving a Chevrolet. Next to him, Jerry Churchill, an old veteran of this series. Row 8, Todd Bowser, son of a veteran driver and champion Jack Bowser. Next to him, Donnie Morlock.
In row number 9, Ron Cox from Tennessee. Kevin Belmont in Feasterville, Pennsylvania's 51 car. Mike Buckley from Ann Arbor, Michigan steers the 28, and then Norm Benning from Pittsburgh outside row 10.
Row 11, driving the Ford, Dennis English. Next to him, Eric Martin in a Chevrolet. Row 12, inside, Dick Tracy driving a Chevrolet. Next to him, in car number 60, Greg Sargent.
In row 13, Brad Smith in the 26, Todd Antrican in the 64 car. At the 14th row, Andy Belmont from Pennsylvania in the America Online Ford, alongside Tracy Leslie in the 19.
Row 15, Chuck Weber from Texas. Next to him, Wayne Peterson. Row 16, Bill Harner. And next to him, Darrell Basham driving a Chevrolet.
And Richard Hampton in the Big O Tire Stores machine from Indiana. Shotgun on the field. He'll start 33rd here today. So a couple of pace laps here at Watkins Glen before we get going today. We've got 3 different cars carrying onboard cameras for you. Andy Belmont, as is usual, will take us for a ride in the America Online Taurus. Belmont starts way back in 27th spot today. 14th row inside. We'll also ride with Jason Jarrett in the 2nd row today at car number 67, the LJ Motorsports machine. He has a victory in the series already this year. Frank Kimmel, who's the point leader. 5 victories for Kimmel this season in car number 46. He starts 9th in the Advanced Auto Parts Chevrolet. His crew chief, Bill Kimmel, says they had to do a lot to get ready to run here.
Yeah, one of the major problems that we have on any road course that we haven't experienced before is a brake problem. And we run a new Brembo caliper. It's a 6-piston caliper, where normally we only run a 4-piston caliper on the short tracks. And as you can see here, we're ducking 3 air hoses into the brakes, trying to keep the calipers and the rotors cool as we possibly can, because we feel in the 62 laps that if we can keep brakes in the car, we'll be there at the end. Another thing that's a little bit unique here, we run different length A-frames. On a left-hand turn short track, we'll run a shorter A-frame on the right front versus a longer on the left front. Here at Glen, because we have predominantly a right-hand turn racetrack, we kind of switched that a little bit and evened these A-frames up, so we actually have equal A-frames on both sides now. If it does rain, we're going to run in it this week. So in case of rain, we put a windshield wiper on the car, and because of the low visibility that happens, we also installed a rear tail light. We're working on a defroster system here, so we can actually blow warm air through this tube and up to the windshield. So if it does rain and it starts fogging inside the car, hopefully it'll clean the window good enough and Frank can keep going. Normally, on a left-hand turn racetrack, we attach our track bar to the rear on the left side of the car and run it over to the right side of the frame. Again, Watkins Glen being predominantly a right-hand turn course, we have now hooked the track bar to the left side of the frame and hooked it to the right side of the rear end. Another change that we've had to make here, because of the racetrack being a right-hand turn course, we'll actually pit backwards, something that we don't do normally on an oval track. And we've had to move the fuel inlet to the right side of the car. And this right here might cause a little problem, because sometimes our gas man gets a little mixed up. So if you can see on the left side, we've left him a little note over here to maybe he won't be as confused when he jumps over there.
Sometimes you have to really spell it out, don't you?
Well, yeah, you know, they're also going to have to say turn right. You know, everyone in ARCA used to turn in left, so that, you know, look at the track analysis, 2.4 mile road course, a beautiful day, can't complain. I mean, it's like 77 degrees, sun shining, couldn't ask for a better day for a race.
And there is a slight chance of rain, but we're glad to have you with us for 150 miles. The BetOnUSA.com 150 here on Speed Vision, and we are underway.
And they sure don't waste any time fanning out trying to get into turn 1, do they?
A 99 car, Lyndon Amick steering a Ken Schrader Racing Chevrolet alongside Blaze Alexander on the front row. They are door to door, down to the S's, and Alexander gets the advantage. Up the hill, heading to the backstretch for the first time, Lyndon Amick in the 99 car, running in 2nd spot. And right with him, the 15, Damon Lusk from Kennewick, Washington.
Yeah, you see a little smoke coming off of the number 91 car. I don't think that was smoke. I think that was just fuel coming out the overflow. And here they go through those, what do you call them, the S's here?
The chicane,
the
inner loop.
Yeah.
It's the inner loop at Watkins Glen. Frank Kimmel sits 9th, the series point leader. Kimmel has won on every type of track there is. I don't think he's got a road course win, though, on his resume.
No, not as far as I know. You're right. I wonder if we stay on this, I want to see when he shifts here. Look, he hasn't shifted yet. Yeah, he should be shifting right about now. Yeah.
Of course, when you take a car like this to a road course, they use what's called a Jericho transmission. No clutch needed. Blaze Alexander, your leader in the black 91 car. Blue and white 99. Lyndon Amick steering that car for Kenny Schrader in the second spot. And Lusk from Washington in the 15 machine rides third. On board with Andy Belmont. He's made a big move off the first lap or so. He's gained 11 spots up to 16.
Well, you got to remember, you heard Bill Kimmel talking about a defroster. That's what that hose is right there in the dash. That's a little defroster so that if they do get some rain or humidity on the inside of the window, they'll at least be able to clear it off of that.
Belmont trying to move up and make a pass. That right-hand turn at the end of the long front straightaway. You're downhill to the right. That's scary. That's a real brake test. Alexander is your leader at Watkins Glen. Welcome back to Watkins Glen International here on Speed Vision, the ARCA RE Series. I'm Rick Benjamin with Bill Venturini. The BetOnUSA.com 150. Jason Jarrett wheeling the ML Motorsports 67 car down to the inner loop. He has got a handful of steering wheels.
Yeah, did you see he downshifted before he got into the corner and before he turned the wheel? That's the proper way. Oh, we got a car spinning in front of him.
Sure do.
That's
Trouble
the leader.
Up ahead. Blaze Alexander's gone around in the carousel. Alexander spun hard enough to knock the roof flap up on that car. And that will bring out at least a local caution in that part of the course. Alexander back up to speed in that Pontiac.
Yeah, you see his roof flap came back down now, so he's back racing.
That leaves Lyndon Amick out in front in Ken Schrader's Chevrolet. Amick now with a good advantage down the front straightaway. David Lusk tucks into second spot. Shows me one more time. You're looking on board through Jason Jarrett's windshield.
Yeah, you can see Jason Jarrett saw it, moved to the outside, and got a position while he was doing it.
That is a tough corner. That's a high-speed corner coming off that inner loop. Alexander back up to speed, getting by the one car of Andy Belmont, who's moved up to 11. Good run for Belmont so far.
Yeah, well, you can hear him get on and off the gas as he goes through the corners here. Now he should be picking up the throttle right here. See? Yep. Boy, it sure sounded like he turned a lot of RPMs
sure
there.
Did. You certainly don't want to over-rev your engine, especially early in a 60-lap race such as this. Belmont doing a great job so far. Blaze Alexander has worked his way up to 10th. Let's talk to his crew chief.
With the crew chief for Blaze Alexander, Dave Liner. Anything wrong with the car? What happened out there?
Nothing's wrong with the car. Lyndon just got in a little too hot and spun Blaze out. Blaze says car's fine. We're just going to have to come back up through this field. Not our game plan, but we'll be all right.
Can you get there?
I think so. I think so. We got to pit at least once, and I think with the pit stops with the 26 guys, we'll get back up there. We'll be all right.
That's a good thing. They're confident. They'll have to be. It's hard to pass here at the Glen.
Now from that onboard,
you couldn't see that. Right, you couldn't tell from the onboard that he had contact, but definitely he said that Lyndon Amick got in the back end of Blaze and spun him out. But like he said, I don't think Blaze has to worry. You know, this is such a big racetrack, and there's going to be plenty of time, and I think we're going to probably have a good chance of a yellow flag here. Plus, you've got pit stops, and Blaze was the fastest car. I don't think he has to worry right now. But I got to say one thing. Lyndon Amick, you know, he's with the Kenny Schrader team. This is, I think, out of all the teams racing right now, this team has the most experience to fall back on. I don't mean just the driver. I'm talking about the knowledge of the car owner, the team, the crew chief back home in Concord. These guys have run a lot of road courses, so I'm banking he's got the better advantage.
You would think so, and Lyndon certainly has raced here many times in the Busch Series, in trucks, and also in some sports cars.
Well, yeah, and his family, I mean, you know, his brother was doing some road racing and stuff like that, so they're a pretty well road racing family to start with.
Let's check in on the point leader, Frank Kimmel, the Advanced Auto Parts Chevrolet, sitting 6th right now. And really, he doesn't necessarily have to win today with a 100-plus point lead. Tim Steele not here this weekend. Frank just needs a good, safe run today.
No, that's his whole attitude for the rest of the season, is that they're such a good team, they don't have to worry about, you know, if they're going to lead all the races. They're a solid team. They're going to run up front. And with Tim, like you said, with Tim Steele not here. Oh, look at Robert
Burrows gets off the track down in turn 1, gets up in the gravel trap, brings it back on the racetrack, and can't keep it pointed straight. Now he gets free fired. Let's take another look here. This is one of the toughest parts of Watkins Glen.
He gets down into the car. He gets in pretty hot. Gets in real hot, as a matter of fact. You can see, he just actually overdrove the corner. The brakes didn't lock up. I thought maybe we'd see some smoke, but he gets into that gravel, and he's lucky, because a lot of times you get stuck there.
Oh, yeah, you can get buried there very easily. He was able to refire and get back pointed in the right direction. Not so sure he didn't run over the rumble strips on the inside, which might have kicked him out.
Yeah, I forgot about it. You know, you forget about rumble strips here. You know, we're not used to racing on rumble strips.
That's what makes this so intriguing, I think.
And look at what I like about it. Look at this. You come uphill, downhill, left hand, right hand. This is probably the neatest racetrack you'll ever drive on.
Now take a look at this. The 03 car, John Finger, is third. Now he's a road course specialist, has raced in the Grand Am Series, and primarily he's raced in vintage competition. Definitely a road course specialist. He's having a great run in his first ARCA start.
So is this what we call Finger is a ringer?
Well, you could say that. You could say that. And Jason Jarrett, the third-generation star, scored his first ARCA victory, his first major stock car win several weeks back. You saw it here on Speed Vision. Jason rides fourth in the 67 car. We'll be back at the Glen in just a moment. Welcome back to Watkins Glen International here on Speed Vision. The BetOnUSA.com 150, 12th race of the 2001 ARCA RE Series season. Up the hill through the S's. Lyndon Amick out in front of the 99 car. Good to see Lyndon with a good run. His family-owned team stepping back a little bit this year, but Lyndon's been driving some for Ken Schrader Racing, and here he is in a Schrader car pacing the field.
Yeah, kind of an unfair advantage, you know, getting into Schrader's equipment, but it makes it really interesting. And I got to tell you, the ARCA regular guys like racing with teams like this because it helps pick up the competition level for everybody.
Right now, Amick definitely in command of that 99 car, that Chevrolet Monte Carlo. They climb on board with Frank Kimmel. Now he's backpedaled one spot. Frank back to 7th in the Advanced Auto Parts Chevrolet.
You know, I got to tell you, one thing I've noticed that Frank Kimmel also changed on this car, and most people won't notice it, is the diameter of the steering wheel.
Yeah.
41 seconds behind the leader.
Oh, that was his spotter and car owner telling him how far he was behind the leader. But he put a much smaller diameter steering wheel because you have to go left and right. And with the smaller steering wheel, you get quicker response with your front end steering with the smaller wheel.
I don't think I've ever seen that before, though, in a stock car on a road course.
I've never either. That's the first, but I mean, I noticed it from the in-car camera. Look at this. We got Lyndon Amick making pit stops right now.
Lyndon Amick is on pit road. They go to the left side of the car. Remember, mostly the turns here are right hand, so the left side tires will give up first. Let's go to Don.
We'll take left side tires and right side tires too, and a whole bunch of 76 racing fuel. Handle on the car is absolutely perfect. No adjustments at all, but even more than gas, they need tires. On the 99 car, and they fall off the jack. Lyndon Amick's in trouble. He has driven the car right off the jack and fallen right down on the chassis. And meanwhile, Damon Lusk has already come and gone, but big problems down here in the 99 pit trying to lift up on the car. They'll need a bar, they'll need something else. Still down here, this is a lengthy stop, and keep in mind the green flag is still out here at the gun. Finally, they get the jack under the car and the 99 machine up in the air, but I've got to wonder if there's damage to the right rear of the 99 car. When it came down hard. Lyndon Amick finally down and away. Wow.
Now, Amick gave up a lot of time on pit road, but you don't go a lap down on a road course.
Fortunately, it's a good thing this happened here at Watkins Glen. If this would have happened at any other racetrack, he would have been in big trouble. But, you know, because it's such a long track, I don't think it's going to hurt him. It's going to hurt him on track position. He just needs to hope for a yellow.
So John Finger in the 03 car now has taken the lead. He's gotten by Damon Lusk in the 15. And Finger, the road course veteran and the racer Carroll Enterprises Ford, is now setting sail up the backstretch.
You know, when we first looked at the starting lineup and I saw all of these names of these guys I didn't know, and I see this John Finger guy, I go, what are these guys doing coming to race, you know, ARCA at the Watkins Glen? Yeah, well, now I know why they're here.
That car looks suspiciously to me as though it might have been a former Jeff Burton Roush car.
Yeah, just a little, just like the Lyndon Amick car. It almost looks like it used to be a Michael Holligan Hendrick car.
Oh, look at this. Andy Belmont, who was slicing through the field. He was up to 11th, now back to 12th. He's cut down a left front tire. On board, let's see what happens here through the inner loop.
Everything looks good right there. Oh,
that's what happened. Lyndon Amick barging his way through, clipped him.
Yeah, but he clipped him on the right side. You know, he hit him on the right side, and his left front tire goes flat. That's kind of strange.
So Belmont brings the car slowly onto pit road. The #1 team goes to work. They get the car up in the air. Look at how badly that left front tire is shredded. They're also under the hood.
Yeah.
Meantime, here comes Finger onto pit road, your leader in the 03.
Yeah, these are going to be routine pit stops right now for these guys coming down pit road.
Finger slowly observing the speed limit, coming to his pit box. The Racer Carroll team jumps the wall. They'll go to the left side first, and that'll put Jason Jarrett out in front of the Biomet Pontiac. That team using their Pontiac. They also have a Monte Carlo that they use on the speedways.
Did you see the right side of the door on this car?
He's been into a few skirmishes, I think you could say. Jarrett on the button down the front straightaway here at Watkins Glen, going by the scoreboard past pit road. And now is when it's a test. You've got to make sure your brakes will hold into turn 1. Jason leads Alexander and Finger at the Glen. Welcome back to Watkins Glen International here on Speed Vision. I'm Rick Benjamin with Bill Venturini. Don Radabaugh on pit road. The BetOnUSA.com 150 approaching halfway. And here is Jason Jarrett in the 67. He's got his hand up, though. Blaze Alexander getting waved by.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's our leader, but look who was on his bumper, and that was Blaze Alexander.
Blaze, the pole sitter, got caught up in that first skirmish at the carousel corner, which they're coming to right now. He and Lyndon Amos tangled, and it sent Blaze back quite a ways, but he has worked his way back through the pack. Watching the cars, the two leaders come out on the carousel turn down the short straightaway. Alexander and the Little Joe's 91 is back to the point. Jason Jarrett tucked right in behind him in the Biomet Pontiac.
You know, I made mention earlier how big this race is. And I look at Blaze Alexander, who's off the racetrack, and Jason Jarrett looks to the outside to go around when Blaze brings it back on. But I was going to say how, it's a big, long road course, but these guys do realize this is only 60 laps.
Yeah.
This is a very short race. So as much as these guys think they have time, they got to get on their horse and start galloping real quick.
We've seen John Finger, Lyndon Amick, several others on pit road already. One stop should do it.
Yeah, that's all you should need is one pit stop.
Only 150 miles of action, and certainly on fuel, and you think on tires as well, you ought to be able to run well over 75 miles without any problem. Alexander, that 91 car, though, very, very strong here this week.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to matter if he runs on the racetrack or off it a little. He seems to be pretty quick today.
Heading toward the inner loop, coming up the backstretch. You see those cones in the racetrack. That tells you, don't come through here, guys. Take the right-hand turn.
It's a good thing I'm not out there because I forget about that stuff, and I just drive straight through it. I wonder what kind of penalty there is for that.
Well, the folks who run Watkins Glen International put those in about 10 years ago, put the inner loop in 1991, if memory serves, as we watch point leader Frank Kimmel circulate in 8th spot. Tommy Kendall in an IMSA GTP car, when the backstretch was full length, came up there, had a tire go down, and flipped over the outside Armco, and really caused himself great physical harm. It was 2 years before Tommy recovered, broke both his legs, and at that point, track officials decided, hey, we need to slow the racetrack down a little at that place.
Yeah. But you look at the front of the Frank Kimmel's car. Look at all the openings on it. You've got an opening for the radiator, opening for the oil cooler, and he's got extra openings for the brake ducts. That's because you use your brakes so hard here that you got to keep them cool. And the leader's back down pit road.
Alexander and his Pontiac brings the 91 car onto pit road, and here comes Jason Jarrett as well. Some body color tape peeling off the left side there. Jarrett slowly. Of course, there's a pit road speed limit here. The Biomet team will go to work. They'll do left side tires.
Yeah, you got to get used to them going to the left side of the car first now, because ARCA, we're not used to running right-handed turns, so everything is kind of backwards. You go to the left side of the car first, then back over to the right side.
Work going on Blaze Alexander's Pontiac as well. Same thing, left side tires. Now they'll go around to the right side of the car. Remember, most of the turns here are right-hand turns, so the left side of the car carries a lot of the weight. Bill Kimmel explained some of the other road course changes you'd have to make to an intermediate or short track car to make it work for you on a road course like Watkins Glen. Alexander gets the 91 car down and away ahead of Jason Jarrett. Actually gained some car lengths on pit road.
Well, you got to remember that, Blaze Alexander made the comment that they're using the Busch Dr. Pepper team to do pit stops right now, so he's got a good seasoned team helping him in the pits.
Damon Lusk getting plenty of help today as well. Out in front again in the 15 car, that Ford Taurus from Washington State. On the pit stop cycle, Lusk has picked up the lead going through the carousel at the end of the backstretch.
You know what I really enjoy about being able to watch this on a monitor like we've been able to do is when you're in a pits, you don't get to see the cars go through these corners and see how they react. You can see that when the car turns left and turns right, how the body rolls. And actually, I'm learning a lot about setting the car up right now.
Lusk makes that left-hander. Next to last turn. Now he'll come to the final turn, 11, here at Watkins Glen, and jump back onto the main straightaway.
I'm going to tell you, as being a driver, road courses are so much fun to race on. They're a good break for an ARCA guy because they don't race on them much, only once every couple years, and they make it so much more fun. I think as a driver, you look forward to this more than anything.
The 99 of Lyndon Amick second, Blaze Alexander in the 91 car right behind him third. Bill alluded to a little while ago the fact that Lyndon Amick is steering a car looks suspiciously like a former Michael Holligan Holmes Jerry Nadeau Winston Cup car. Now, Ken Schrader owns this machine and this team, and Schrader has purchased a lot of his equipment from Hendrick Motorsports over the years.
Yeah, even though he no longer drives for the team, which he used to many years ago, him and the Hendricks people are still good friends. They live by each other, and I know he has a good relationship with them.
And here comes Jason Jarrett back onto pit road. Oh. Biomet Pontiac directly behind the wall, headed to the garage. That's not a good sign.
That is not pit road.
So Jason Jarrett has taken off the gloves. It looks like he's done for the day here at Watkins Glen. We'll be back. Welcome back to Watkins Glen International here on Speed Vision. The BetOnUSA.com 150 today. Lyndon Amick and Ken Schrader's 99 car sitting in second spot, coming down the short chute for the final couple of turns. And back behind him, Frank Kimmel in the 46. But Kimmel's a lap down here as we're about midway in the event.
Boy, look at how Lyndon Amick uses all of the racetrack, including the little white curbs that they've kind of built. There it is right there. Come off the racetrack, use that little curb to help send the car back onto the racetrack.
Amick tracking behind Damon Lusk in the 15. Here comes Kimmel. We'll watch Amick down into turn 1 here as the car turns into the right. Starts to pick up some speed once again up on the rumble strips on the outside of the racetrack. Heading toward the S's here at the Glen, up the hill.
This is so neat looking, up the hill, down the hill, through the turns.
Funneling up onto the back straightaway, heading toward the inner loop.
Okay, now's when I miss not racing. I want to be out there right now.
The 99 with Amick on board, moving by a lapped car. Kimmel has gotten up to 5th, although he is not on the lead lap at the moment. And there's Blaze Alexander running right with him. Little Joe's 91. Alexander sitting 3rd at this point. He was the pole sitter here today, but he's had a couple of setbacks.
Yeah, but, you know, he's running 3rd, and he's already been off the racetrack twice. I don't think he's having that bad of a day.
And Kimmel in the 46, as we mentioned before, the point leader by more than 100 over Tim Steele, who's not here this weekend. Bobby Gerhardt carrying Steele's 16 on his car for owner points. Kimmel just needs to stay out of trouble today.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's exactly what he's thinking right now is let's keep the car in one piece. Let's not wreck and make sure we keep the brakes and the motor in one piece.
You don't very often see, even though Blaze Alexander is a very capable driver, you don't usually see an ARCA car just sail by Kimmel like that.
No, it hasn't been. It's been a long time since you've seen that. Oh, look at this.
Lyndon Amick in the 99 misses the first corner and goes down into the kitty litter big time.
You see, he knew not to stop. He kept it rolling.
Yeah.
He's coming back on the racetrack.
He's got a lot of sheet metal damage on the left-hand side of that car, as though perhaps someone got into him.
Yeah, we couldn't tell from that, but one thing that happened was he gave up second spot now. Blaze Alexander through that skirmish ended up going by him.
Amick was sitting second in Schrader's Chevrolet. Look at the bashed-in door panel on the left side. Here we go again. We pick it up with Amick down in the dirt at the end of turn 1. And you pick up so much gravel inside the race car when you do that.
And he's thinking right now, turn. He's trying to turn to a car to the right. He said, please turn.
Now that is styrofoam. Those are huge foam blocks at the end of the front straightaway there. If you were watching a year ago, Jimmy Johnson in the NASCAR Busch Series race T-boned those things at about 120 miles an hour. It shows you the value of a soft wall in certain situations.
And then he jumped out to show everyone it was okay. I was so glad to see that.
So Amick back on the course in front of Kimmel in the 46, heading toward the S's.
Yeah, look, you will slightly run uphill, turn to the left right now. Now you make a nice sweeping right-hand turn.
The engine sounds nice and strong, and fortunately he didn't cut a tire down when he went off the racetrack.
Now you go through the chicane here. You know, one thing I've noticed, every time Lyndon Amick goes to make that right-hand turn, he hits the rumble strips.
Let's check back in with road course specialist John Finger in the 03, the Ford Taurus. He is 4th right now, but getting around here very, very well as he tries to track down the leader, Damon Lusk. Finger up onto the backstretch, moving by Ron Cox's 23 car. Cox out of Soddy Daisy, Tennessee, and I would wager that Ron Cox has never been on a road course before.
No, but did you see Finger?
Oh, and right off the racetrack. He heads for the kitty litter in the inner loop.
I'll tell you what I think happened with Ron Cox was he was following John Finger. He saw Finger get into that down to the inner loop so deep that he thought, oh, okay, I can just drive right in there. Found out that, oh, no, you can't.
And look at all the gravel bouncing off the back end of the car. The tires almost look white walled. Cox snaking the car back and forth now on the short chute to try to shake some of the debris loose underneath it, get the car cleaned out a little bit.
Yeah, that's pretty bad when you got to shake the car to get the dirt out from underneath it.
Take another look up the backstretch. Right-hander into the inner loop. Finger over the curb. Cox tried to follow and just missed the second part of the corner.
Yeah, I think he was just so intent in following Finger that he forgot that he had to turn left right there.
He was practicing for DuQuoin in Springfield a little later on this year in the dirt, I think. Cox got the car back up on the racetrack. Actually did a very nice job keeping it from bogging down in the kitty litter there. Damon Lusk in the 15 machine continues to lead. Lusk from Washington State, from Kennewick, Washington, the Challenge Motorsports Ford, turning in a great run here today.
Yeah, he's driving the number 15 car right now. He's coming down pit road right now.
So your leader will bring the 15 car to the attention of the SWAT team crew. Lusk observing the pit road speed limit, of course. Rest of the field starting to funnel by. We're well into the second half of the event here today, so you'd think they would make certainly a 4-tire and fuel stop here at Watkins Glen. On Speed Vision, the ARCA RE Series. We'll be back with more. Less than 15 laps to go at Watkins Glen International in central New York State. I'm Rick Benjamin with Bill Venturini. Don Radabaugh on pit road for us today. Cars coming up the backstretch. One of the contenders for victory here today is pole sitter Blaze Alexander. He's got the 91 car out in front. He's come from the back.
Yeah, and we've seen him. He's actually had to come from a mishap twice already, and he's leading right now. But there aren't many laps left, so these guys are going to have to hustle, and there's, what, only 4 cars on the lead lap right now.
Alexander down the short straightaway. Last 2 turns on this Watkins Glen short road course. Of course, there's another whole mile of racetrack that the stock cars don't use here. As we watch Alexander navigate the final turn, coming to the final turn off the short straightaway.
You know why they don't let the stock car guys use it? Because they know we get lost. 2.5 miles is more than enough that we can try to figure out for one lap.
But this is a very challenging circuit for these drivers and teams. It's fun to watch stock cars race at Watkins Glen. Alexander down the front straightaway doing a nice job. And here is John Finger in the 03, Damon Lusk in the 15. Now both of those cars have stamped themselves clearly as contenders here this afternoon. Moving up on Robert Burrows in the 53, who was running well earlier. He also has spun here this afternoon.
Yeah, and we saw him get off the racetrack, but he's running really. Oh, look at him. That was brake smoke getting into the corner. He got on the brakes really hard, and you can see the tires lock up. He's got to be real careful right now. He's got some fast cars behind him, but he seems to be holding his own.
Burrows in the purple and yellow machine. The 03 is ARCA rookie John Finger. Damon Lusk in the 15. A couple of Ford Tauruses running nose to tail pretty much for second and third.
I'm glad you clarified that as an ARCA rookie, because I know John Fingers is not a rookie.
No, he's been racing a long, long time, and he is definitely a road course specialist. Oh, Damon Lusk goes off the racetrack at the inner loop. He'll go down into the gravel trap as well, try to get the car pointed in the right direction. He does a nice job keeping it straight and under power back up onto the racetrack.
Okay, now I don't know what's going on in this corner, but that's like the third guy now we've watched just kind of forget to turn left. They make the right-hand turn and don't turn left.
Well, you've got to downshift and slow the car down. I would say they're probably going 155 or 160 miles an hour at the end of that backstretch.
And these 2 guys are rubbing fenders right now.
Side by side, let's take another look at what happened to Lusk, trailing Finger into the inner loop here.
Oh, that seems to be the problem. Everybody that tries to follow Finger through this inner loop never comes out the other end.
He was on the gas, made the first right-hand turn, but missed the second, the left-hander.
Yeah, it looked like he hit the rumble strips trying to make the left-hand turn and shot the car up the racetrack, and by the time the car settled in, there was no more racetrack left.
Back to live action. Lyndon Amick in the 99 car sitting third for Ken Schrader Motorsports. Let's see how Amick got third away from Damon Lusk just a couple of minutes ago. Bill down the short straightaway.
Yeah, he used the little shoulder area, come by and just kind of rubs fenders. And you see Damon Lusk kind of move to the right, give him the room, which is a smart thing to do right now. And Lyndon just drives it in a whole lot deeper.
So Amick, the young Busch Series veteran from South Carolina, moves inside Damon Lusk, picks off third spot in Kenny Schrader's Monte Carlo. Back to the action. The 91 car being driven by Blaze Alexander. John Finger in the 03 challenging him for the lead up through the S's now.
Where did Finger come from? You know, Blaze Alexander thought he was sitting pretty nice, no one in his mirror, and all of a sudden he looks, and there's John Finger all over his back bumper.
Up to the back straightaway, and Finger gets off the final corner a whole lot quicker. He blows right by Alexander to take the point.
Man, he just drove around him on the outside. What a good move by John Finger.
So Finger in that 03 machine, his first ever ARCA start, has taken that car to the point. And And he's starting to pull away quickly from Alexander. He is from Greenville, South Carolina, the Racer Carroll Enterprises Ford Taurus.
Oh,
Alexander leaning on the gas.
See that?
Out of the corner there.
Come off the corner, he was sideways.
Yellow flag starting to be displayed around the racetrack here at Watkins Glen. As we see Finger, your leader in the 03. Looks like it could be a full course caution in the late going here. The BetOnUSA.com 150. Alexander will get an opportunity to close up on Finger's back bumper here.
Yeah, I guess we're getting reports that maybe debris on the racetrack.
On the front straightaway, your 2 leaders.
I don't know if this is what Blaze Alexander really wanted or not. You know, at least he's going to have the opportunity to be able to close back up on John Finger's bumper. Now we're going to be able to see on the restart if he's got anything for him.
Yellow flags being displayed by the turn marshals all the way around, and the safety car is out to pick up Finger as your leader here at Watkins Glen International. Just a handful of laps to go today in the BetOnUSA.com 150. 12th event of the ARCA RE Series season here in 2001. First visit by this tour to Watkins Glen ever. And look, there's the debris. What's that, Bill?
That's a harmonic balancer and the crankshaft pulley. Whoever lost that's definitely got an engine problem. I'll tell you that.
I don't think you can run too long without that piece on the race car. Finger leads Alexander, Amick, and Lusk. A couple of laps to go at the Glen. Excellent track safety workers here at Watkins Glen International in upstate New York. They cleaned up the debris and we're about set to get a restart. 3 laps remaining in today's ARCA RE Series event, the BetOnUSA.com 150, 12th event of the 2001 campaign. John Finger, an ARCA rookie. He's got his mirrors full of 2 good racers, Blaze Alexander and Lyndon Amick, and Robert Burrows is right there as well.
Yeah, but Burrows a lap down. But, you know, he's got just those 2 guys he's got to contend with right now.
We're getting an indication only 3 cars remain on the lead lap as the green waves down the front straightaway. John Finger in the 03 is out in front. Alexander in the 91. Here's Burrows trying to get back into contention now. And trailing them, Lyndon Amick in the 99 car.
Yeah, well, right now, Lyndon Amick doesn't want to see that number 53 car between him and Blaze Alexander, but it doesn't seem to matter right now. It looks like Fingers and Alexander are starting to pull away from everybody. So I think right now the race is between these 2 guys. And look at Blaze looking inside.
Alexander from Pennsylvania chasing Finger from South Carolina up the backstretch. He's got the inside line into the inner loop, and Alexander gets by.
And now he's got to make the left. See if he makes it. Yeah, he does.
Picks up the left front wheel just a tad. Blaze Alexander is back out in front of the 91. They roll through the carousel at the back end of the back straightaway. Off the turn, very strong, comes the 91 Pontiac. But here comes Finger. Finger blows right by him. Alexander's got a problem.
Yeah, I was going to say, man, did John Fingers go around Blaze Alexander? But it looks like Blaze has a problem, like you said, because you don't slow up like that. I'm wondering if he had a transfer. Oh, look at everyone's off the racetrack.
Amick goes off course. Here comes Burrows to the inside. There's contact. Finger and Burrows spin. Amick gets into him, into the Armco barrier. 3 of the front-running cars have all tangled. Here comes Alexander back on the gas. Kimmel, and here comes Finger. Wow, 2 to go.
Okay, what? Now tell me, what just happened here?
Burrows tried to bonsai through on the inside on the final corner and took himself out along with the leader. Look at the damage to the 91 car, and he's going to spin again.
Yeah, right now, you know, Burrows is on the tail end of the lead lap. But you got, you know, Fingers, who was running for the lead, and then Blaze was actually, they were back racing even though Blaze had a wrecked car.
And here's Lyndon Amick stuck against the Armco at the inside of turn 11.
Yeah, now I don't know if they're going to throw a yellow or not. We're going to be coming around to get the white flag. And in ARCA, you can't race back to the start-finish line. When the yellow comes out, the field is frozen. So right now, I'm starting to see the yellow. Oh, look at this.
Robert Burrows with a damaged race car clipped the curbing, goes through the grass. Kimmel has to dodge him to the inside. And getting by is Finger in the 03. This may hand the race to John Finger.
Okay. I'm totally confused right now. Look at this. There's cars everywhere. The yellow flag's out, so nobody can improve position. So right now, John Finger's just got to get to the start-finish line to win this race. Well, he's got to go one more lap, but you know, all he's got to do is make it to the start-finish line right now. I think he's going to be the winner.
The 21 of Todd Bowser got through safely. He is the next car in line. Corner marshals hold the yellow flags out, but Bowser not on the lead lap.
Yeah, I don't know who's going to end up where because of what's happened. Yeah, you can see Lyndon Amick still against the inside guardrail. There's the white and yellow flag together.
So all John Finger should have to do is make it around the racetrack one final time without incident. Full course caution slows everybody down.
And Now, he's going to have to go all the way around, and the way things have been going, that seems to be a hard thing right now. Everyone seems to be wrecking it. They got to get through that carousel one more time, but I think right now everyone's pretty safe on saying they're going to finish
with the safety car out there. You certainly think so. So there's Finger in his 03. Let's take another look at the carnage going down into turn 11. Burrows here to the inside of Finger, and Finger turned down on Burrows and caused the contact.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't. Robert Burrows didn't need to be sticking his nose right in there trying to get a lap, with a couple laps to go to be racing the leader like that. And then Lyndon Amick comes in and there's nowhere for him to go. He's
committed to the inside. The road was blocked. That's what they call in road racing the red mist. I think Robert Burrows saw that he had an opportunity to gain some ground, gain some spots, and just decided to go for it. Unfortunately, it touched off this pinball wreck coming to the final corner. So Finger motoring around under caution. The 03 is somewhat the worse for wear. Bowser next in line in the 21, but not on the lead lap. And here comes Finger through the carousel behind the safety car.
Well, the two that got the worst of this deal was Blaze Alexander and Lyndon Amick right now.
And Alexander on pit road, actually behind the wall up in the garage area, climbs slowly out of the 91 car, the Pontiac, talking to the crew and his car owners. Take another look at Robert Burrows, who got launched up in the sky there at the inner loop last time.
Look at this. He almost takes out Frank Kimmel here.
Dirt tracks the car around to the inside, but can't keep it from going all the way around after he plowed through the grass, the little infield portion of the inner loop. Finger was in the right place at the right time, and Kimmel was not. Kimmel, though, didn't hit anything.
Yeah, look at Frank. Frank almost got hit twice by that incident.
Back on board with Kimmel. He's back up on the racetrack, and there it is again. One more look at what happened to Burrows. Kimmel right there on the gas, or starting to get back on the gas, has to dodge him and dive for the infield.
Yeah, listen to the rocks. You can hear the rocks hitting the inner fender well.
Definitely plowing up some turf here at Watkins Glen International. So the checkered flag will wave under caution over John Finger. Finger, first ever ARCA start, wins the BetOnUSA.com 150. Our coverage of the ARCA RE/MAX series is being brought to you by RE/MAX. In the race to sell homes, our track record is second to none. RE/MAX, outstanding agents, outstanding results. And by Cornwell Quality Tools. Professional mechanics worldwide choose Cornwell, the official tools of ARCA. And by Suzuki ATVs, makers of the Quadmaster 500 4x4. It has the performance to keep you rolling. A brand new winner at the Glen. Let's go to Don.
Why don't you put Dad on the car?
An unbelievable story down here in Victory Lane. John Finger, and only his career first ARCA RE/MAX series start. I've heard through the grapevine that you've got a lot of road racing experience. I think it showed up today. How do you feel?
Well, the last race I was up here in 90, I won. I'm not going to jump on the roof because I can't afford it, but we're still looking for a little help. No, it feels great. This guy's worked good for me. My daughter's here helping me.
Tell me about those last couple of laps.
Just one of those racing deals. Somebody tagged me in the back. I was being a little cautious. Spun, hit the wall. Coming back in, I noticed the black mark standing there. It looked like a drag strip, but it kept running, so I took off. This is our first race. We obviously didn't know what we were doing, but we did all right. And this is just a hell of a crew that's helped me.
Sounds like you know exactly what you're doing. Maybe next time you can get on that roof and even celebrate a little more. Congratulations.
I hope so. Maybe I'll do that on Jimmy's car tomorrow.
All right, that's John Finger. What a day here at Watkins Glen.
Finger with tons of road course experience, a lot of it in vintage racing, scores an upset win today at Watkins Glen. So Finger beats Alexander, Kimmel, and Burrows. Bill Venturini, a fun race.
I can't believe it. You know, when I first came here, I thought, all right, how can this be exciting here, going to a road course, 2.5-mile racetrack? It can't be that much fun. Man, what a finish. I got to tell you, I thought turning right-hand, making right-hand turns was going to be hard. These guys had a riot and an exciting last 3 laps. You couldn't have asked for anything better.
Action aplenty everywhere we turn today, especially at the inner loop, coming out of the final turn. A lot of drivers with great stories to tell after this one. Let's talk to one of them. Don standing by with Blaze Alexander.
Well, Blaze Alexander, you had a little bit of everything today. You got spun, you overcame transmission troubles and all the late race stuff. How was it from your angle?
It's just another race, you know, in my ARCA career should have had. And, you know, I lead a lot of these races and come here like this, and I don't know how many times this happened to me, but and we finished second, I guess. I mean, we didn't even finish the last lap because they took out the oil line on that last crash that Burroughs guy, I don't know what he's thinking. He's a lap down. He's racing with the 3 leaders, and I don't know. I mean, tore up 3 good race cars for nothing, and I guess he thought he was racing for the win. Just, I'm a little upset about that, but, you know, I wanted to win. We didn't get it. I had to go to Michigan, try and win that one.
Well, after 12 races in the ARCA RE/MAX Series season, Frank Kimmel's lead over Tim Steele now an imposing 300-plus points. Todd Bowser, Norm Benning, and Chuck Weber still in the top 10 as well. A reminder, find out all your ARCA Racing information on the World Wide Web at arcaracing.com. Add track communications for the ARCA RE/MAX Series provided by Racing Electronics. Give them a call at 1-800-272-7111. For Don Radabaugh and Bill Venturini, I'm Rick Benjamin congratulating John Finger, a rookie winner here at Watkins Glen. Check out all the motorsports information you need at our website, speedvision.com. We'll see you next time.